In this video, we're going to be talking about planning the book launch for your book. This is basically planning all the nitty-gritty stuff that goes into publishing, from the marketing to the search engine optimization, the book blurb, the keywords, all of that. Basically, anything that goes into planning the publishing of your book is what we're talking about today. My name is Mandi, Lynn. I make weekly videos on the business of being an author, and if that sounds good to you, then be sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon so you never miss a new upload. So today I'm celebrating the release of this, which is my book launch planner. This is the third book in the book launch planner series. I originally released the book launch planner as one hardcover planner that you could purchase, but now I re-released it as a 3-planner series, and each planner in the series covers a different phase of the writing and publishing process. We have my writing planner, which is all about setting your writing schedule and tracking your goals. We have my novel outline planner, which is self-explanatory. It's a planner that helps you outline your book. And now we have my book launch planner, which helps you plan out all your self-publishing stuff. You can also use it for traditional publishing, but you might not end up using all the pages since some stuff your publisher will do for you. But this book is all about the marketing. All the planners in the series are available in paperback like this or hardcovers. So you get to pick which your preference is. I personally really enjoy the hardcovers. This right here is a proof copy of the paperback because I'm waiting for the final copies to come in the mail. And it is just chock full of templates and checklists and guides and basically everything you're ever going to want to need. As I go through the pages of the planner, I may also reference the Marketing for Authors series, which are these books right here. This is a 5-book marketing series by myself and Bethany Atzazeta, and basically each book in the series covers a different subject. We've got How Your Book Sells Itself, is all about setting up your book for success. We have Grow Your Author Platform, which is about growing your author platform, so stuff like YouTube, blog, Pinterest, newsletter, all that. And then we have Book Sales That Multiply, so this is doing stuff like Amazon ads and Facebook ads. Next up is Secrets to Selling Books on Social Media. This is all about marketing your book on social media. And last but not least, we have Plan a Profitable Book Launch, which is planning a profitable book launch, which is a lot of what we'll cover today. So these are all how-to books, whereas the planner series is more templates, checklists, and guides. So without further ado, let's take a little flip through of the planner to see what's inside and to see what the templates look like and how you can use them to publish your book. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if you buy this book within the first week of release, you'll get 2 free goodies. So in the planner, there are 3 different types of book launch timelines, and I love them all. But if you're the type of person who loves digital book launch timelines, there's a digital version of one of the book launch timelines that's in this planner that you can access digitally in Google Sheets. So that's item number 1 you get if you purchase this within the first week of release. But item number 2 is that you also get the first couple chapters of this book right here, Plan a Profitable Book Launch, so you can read it and see if you like it, and then maybe you want to buy the whole book, I don't know, but I highly recommend checking out the entire Marketing for Authors series. So if you purchase this within the first week of release, just fill out the form in the description of this video and you'll be emailed 2 free goodies. Okay, so here we are with my proof copy of my book launch planner. Obviously, the copy you guys get if you purchase it will not have this not for resale sign across the top. But when you open the planner, the first page is this book launch planner is for, and then you put your book title or the working title, your name, and then the date the book is releasing. And we turn the page again, copyright page, we have a table of contents, and there's so much stuff in here that the table of contents takes up 2 pages. And there are regular note pages in this planner as well, but it doesn't start until page 118, and then after that it is just a bunch of note pages for you guys. So after that, we have about the planner, and then the other planners in the series. If you want to check them out or learn more about them, you can always find them at thebooklaunchplanner.com. Then we have about the creator, which is me. So this is the list of books that I've published. And then the actual planner itself starts. So the first page is know your genre and categories. So we have a spot where you can list out your main genre and then your subgenres, because often there's a couple of subgenres. Then we turn the page and we've got a page for Amazon categories. So you are allowed to have up to 10 Amazon categories. You just have to reach out to KDP yourself and send them exactly what categories you want to be added to. So here's 10 spots for you to write down that information. If you don't know how to research Amazon categories, I highly suggest checking out Publisher Rocket. I have a link to it right here, or you can check out the link in this description of this video. I highly recommend it. It helps you do category research as well as keyword research, which is on the next page. So you can list out your keywords here. You have 7 keywords on KDP, so you can list them here. I will be doing a full video on Publisher Rocket very soon, so stay tuned. Otherwise, just check it out in the links of this video. And then we have a spot where you can list out your book tropes. This is something that I'm very excited for because book tropes is a huge marketing tool. If you can kind of just figure out what tropes are in your book, then you just use those tropes to market, and it's fantastic. Then the next page is your ideal reader profile. I covered the ideal reader profile pretty extensively in Book Sales That Multiply, so if you want to know more about it, be sure to check out that book. But basically, you're filling out all this information, keeping your reader in mind, and this will allow you to kind of do some deep thinking, and it'll help you with marketing down the line. And it also continues onto this page. This page is exclusive for nonfiction. So here you're asking stuff like, what's a struggle that's holding them back from their goal? What do they seek to learn and discover? How is your book going to solve their problem? So this is exclusive for nonfiction, whereas these other questions are for fiction and nonfiction. So then you have a note page for your ideal reader profile if you want to do a little bit more brainstorming. Then we have comparative titles. So comparative titles are just books that are similar to yours, and you kind of look to them for guidance in terms of marketing. So you want to write down the book title, the author of the book, and then why is this book a comp title? Maybe it has similar themes. Maybe the author writes in similar genres too. That's what this space is for, because it's good to have comp titles, because then you can be like, if you like this book, then you'll like my book. Like, it's good in a marketing sense, but it's also good to know like why they would like it because it's similar. And then if you have a book that's a comp title, you can see what they're doing for marketing, and then you can kind of copy their marketing techniques for your own book. And then the next page, we have pitch your book. So this is just a spot to kind of brainstorm different ways you can pitch your book on social media or people when you meet them in person. So write a pitch using your book's selling point, write a pitch using your book's genre, using your book's comp titles, using your book's opening scene, and using your book's tropes. So that's just to get some brainstorming. And then we have the book blurb. Now, there's many different ways you can write the book blurb, but I gave you 2 pages to do some brainstorming, and if you need more pages, there is, of course, more pages in the back. Next up, we have the publishing to-do list. This is some authors' favorite thing in the planner because it's a catch-all for everything. So we have your to-do list for writing the book, the to-do list for bringing the book to life, like cover design and formatting. We have the to-do list for the launch itself, which is the longest to-do list. And this is a very broad overview, so not absolutely everything is on this list, but it's a great starting place. It does go on to the next page because I couldn't fit all of them on one page. There's even more, and then again a little note section. So if you think of things that you need to add to your to-do list, that's what this is for. Then we have different marketing methods. So you don't have to do all the marketing methods mentioned in this book, but I kind of list out the biggest and most popular marketing methods here, so you can kind of decide what you want to do. You can check off what you want to do. You can cross out what you don't want to do, and then you have a spot to write down additional ideas for marketing here. Our next section is the book launch timeline. So this planner actually has 3 different book launch timelines, and you'll see them shortly. So this is timeline number 1, where I kind of break things down by category. So we have editing, we have the cover design, the interior, the details, and the setup and advanced reader copies. So you can see this is our timeline, and these are the tasks within each category. So I say for editing, you want to do that 6 or more months before release, and then I give kind of an estimate on how long each step takes. So this is estimates. Every single author is different. Every single book is different. So it may take you more time. It may take you less time. This is just a starting place when you have no idea where to start. So this is your little things to keep in mind on how long it may take you. But then this blank spot, you're supposed to write down the actual due dates for yourself or any other little notes about each step you want to take. So that's what all of this book launch timeline stuff is for. This is timeline number 1, kind of broken down, listed out for you. And then this is timeline number 2. It's super, super simple. It's just a year at a glance. So you can write down what you're doing each month. And of course, there aren't 6 months in a year. There are 12. So it continues on to the next page as well. The next timeline I have is the Gantt chart timeline. Now, the Gantt chart timeline is my favorite timeline. If you don't know how a Gantt chart works, basically you have your tasks over here, and then I have different month columns. There's 4 weeks in a month, so that's why there's 4 columns for each month. And then you just kind of color in when you're going to accomplish tasks. So, for example, we have edit draft 1. That's going to take up the entire month of January, send the book to beta readers the entire month of February, line and copy edits the first 2 weeks of March, and then proofreading the last 2 weeks of March. And this is just numbers that I threw out here. And this is just to show you how the Gantt chart works. Now, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, if you purchase this planner within the first week of release, you're going to get a digital Gantt chart that you can open in Google Sheets, and you can fill it out in Google Sheets. But if you do prefer the paper one, it's on the next page, and it's completely blank, so you can put your own months in, your own tasks, and it also goes over to the next page as well. So you have 2 pages of this. But again, if you want the digital version of this, which may be easier to work with depending on what your preferences are for planning out stuff, just order the book within the first week of release, and you will get the digital version of this emailed to you. And then we also have a spot where it's just note pages, and I have a couple note pages for you guys for the book launch timeline. So this is if you didn't like the 3 timelines in the planner, you can kind of create your own timeline here. So then after those note pages, we have your goal setting page. So this is just where you set book sale goals. So we have a goal column, and then we have the actual sales column. So you're going to set goals for your pre-order, your release day, first week, first month, first 3 months, first 6 months, year, and then 2 years. And then over here, you can write down the actual sales so you can see how close you got to your goals. And then a note page to write down plans and ideas to hit these sales numbers. The next page is your expense tracker. So just you tend to purchase things when you publish a book. Maybe one of the things you purchase is the book launch planner. So that's where you can track everything here. I also have a blank page if you want to write down other stuff. And then we have an outsourcing section. So there are some people that you may need to hire throughout the publishing process, and I listed them out here. So we've got developmental editor, copy or line editor, proofreader, cover designer, interior designer or formatter, a PR company, and a virtual assistant. So those are the people that you might hire during the publishing process, or maybe you hire no one, in which case you can ignore all this. But if you do hire someone, you're going to want to talk to multiple people and compare things. So that's what this section's for. So for example, this is the developmental editor section. You write down their name, their experience and references, their turnaround time, their price, and then their notes. So then you have all this in one place, and you can compare different editors and decide who's best for you. So I do that for everything. So then we have another section for line and copy editors, a section for proofreaders, a section for cover designers, a section for interior designers or formatters, a section for PR companies, and a section for virtual assistants, just so you can cross-compare everything. And then of course you can also do it all yourself. If you are curious, I have a book formatting course that will teach you how to format your book yourself. And then I have a cover design course. It's not out yet, but it will be coming soon. So if you want to get on the wait list for that, you will be emailed a coupon if you're on the wait list when the course does come out later this year. So next up we have our cover reveal checklist. The next few pages are for cover reveal. So this is all the things you want to do when you're revealing your cover. And then this is a spot where you can write down your plans to spread the word about your cover reveal. So that's what that is. The next page is your cover reveal email signups. So this is the email that you're going to send out to people after they sign up to help share your book cover. And you don't have to follow this exactly, but it's just a template that you can work with. And then this is a spot where you can list out the influencers that you may want to reach out to help share your book cover. So if you have Bookstagrammers that you follow, you can reach out to them, write down their username. The next page is your street team. So again, the next couple pages is all about forming your street team. And your street team are people that you kind of take on to help you market your book leading up to release. If you want to know more about street teams, it is covered in Plan a Profitable Book Launch. But this is your street team checklist. And then this is just a spot to brainstorm how you're going to tell people that you're trying to form a street team. Then you turn the page. This is our street team sign up form. So people are going to sign up to be on your street team. This is just an example of a Google form that you can create so you can choose the best people to be on your street team. And then I just have a couple questions for you guys that will help you brainstorm a couple things as well, and you answer the questions here. The next page is your street team contact list. So once you pick out people to be on your street team, you can write down all their information, their name, email, blog or YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. That way you know where you can go looking for them. Then we have street team task ideas. So the way I do my street teams, I like to give them tasks so they know what to do and so they're motivated. So this is just an idea list of things that you can have your street team do. And then this is kind of like a posting schedule for your street team, because I personally have my street team on Discord. So I plan out all the different things, like all these different things I plan out in advance, and I plan it here in these boxes. And as you can see, there's a couple of boxes. Each box says idea and then what date I want to post them on and what is the due date for the street team, because you're giving them a task such as cosplay as a character. And so I would then give them a due date. So if you're going to cosplay as a character, please do it by this date. And that just keeps everyone accountable and keeps things organized. The next couple pages are for advanced reader copies. So advanced reader copies are how you get advanced reviews for your book. So this is, again, a checklist for doing advanced reader copies. And then this is a brainstorming spot where you can plan to spread the word about your advanced reader copies. And then we have another Google form example. So this is a Google form that you could create for people who want to read in advanced reader copies. And this is just the simplest way I've figured how to create a form that allows me to know everything that I need to know to pick out people who are going to get advanced reader copies, and then also have the correct information so I can actually send them the advanced reader copy. Then the next page is your social media message example. So if you want to reach out to influencers to read your book and review your book, this is an example of a message that you can send them. So as you reach out to people and say, hey, do you want to read my book? You can just keep track of it here. So you write down their username, their email, how many followers they have, what date you contacted them on, and if they wanted the book or not. So this is just to keep you organized. And there's a couple of pages, so if you reach out to a ton of people. And then we have our social media tour. So this could be whether you're doing a blog tour, Instagram tour, whatever. This is a tour that you arrange on social media to promote your book. So we have a different person posting every single day the release of your book, or however you want to plan it. There's a bunch of different ways. A lot of it is covered in the Plan a Profitable Book Launch book. So this is just an example of a message that you would send to an influencer that you want to be a part of your tour. So you can tell them like the release date, the pitch of the book, the tour dates. And then you can also use this page here to brainstorm different ideas for your social media book tour. And then turn the page, and this is just your contact list for everyone who's going to be taking part of the book tour. So you can use this to keep track of everyone you've reached out to, because again, there's a column here where you can write down if they wanted the book or not, or you can use this exclusively to keep track of people that are participating in the tour as well. And this right here is our tour schedule. So we have the social media tour schedule. Now in the planner, it is 14 days long. Your tour does not need to be 14 days long, but I put 14 days here in case you went all out and really planned it. So we have day 1, write down what the date is, the username of the person who's going to be posting that day, and any notes. Like, are they doing a review? Are they doing a guest post? What's going on that day? So all this is just to keep yourself organized if you want to plan a little social media book tour. Then we have a bookstore message example. So maybe you want to sell your book at a bookstore or do a book signing at a bookstore. This is an example of an email that you might send to a bookstore to reach out to them and be like, hey, I want to do a book signing. Can we arrange something? So again, just a template to work off of. And then the next page is a spot where you can write down different ideas for doing a book signing. And then the next page is your bookstore contact list. So odds are you're going to contact and reach out to a bunch of different bookstores. Hopefully you have a ton of local bookstores in your area. But this is where you can write down the name of the store, the address, their phone number, their email, and any notes. So like if you have a specific person that you contact at a bookstore, you would maybe want to write that down in the note section. And again, we have a couple pages for that because hopefully you go to a lot of bookstores. Next up, we have your release day to-do list. So all the work we've done leading up to this has been for our release day. So this is just all the things that you might have to do on the release day of your book. And then you might have some extra things as well. So that's what these blank lines are for. So you can add in your own things to your to-do list. And then, of course, a note section. And then the next page is just the regular note section of the book. So as you can see, all of this is templates, and then the rest of it is just note pages for yourself with a friendly reminder at the end to write a review for the planner on Amazon. So those are all the templates that you can expect to see in my book launch planner. That is it for this video. If you want to order any of the planners in the book launch planner series, they're all now available on Amazon in paperback and in hardcover. They are published under a pen name, Stone Ridge Books, which is my publishing company. So that's where you'll find all of my nonfiction stuff, whereas Mandi Lynn is now going to be all my fiction stuff. And if you purchase the planners and you love them, please make sure to leave a review of them on Amazon. It is a huge help. Otherwise, that is it for this video, and I'll see you all next week.